Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and warm welcome to this WiseViews session. We are, for a change, hosting it on a Saturday as per the convenience of many people. So this is 167th WiseViews Leadership Conversation. We are joined by our guest. I request all of you to welcome Mr. Vilas Shinde ji. Good evening and welcome, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
What we will do is a brief introduction and then hand it over back to your opening talk, sir. So I'll share my screen. Yeah, these are WiseViews leadership conversations, which we typically hold on Fridays, and only for this week we are holding it on Saturday. And the topic is innovation and scale in agriculture, a farmer-owned company model in India, which Mr. Vilas Shinde will lead the discussion on. So this introduction and his talk will be for about half an hour put together, followed by the remaining time for about 30-40 minutes Q&A. Mr. Vilas Shinde is a visionary entrepreneur and the chairman and managing director of Sahyadri Farms. I'm sure all of you would have heard about this, India's leading farmer producer company, FPC, in horticulture. He started this with the dream of transforming the lives of small farmers by eliminating middlemen and giving them direct market access. Founded in 2010 with an initial investment of just 1 lakh rupees and a collective of 100 farmers, Sahyadri Farms has now grown into a monumental success story, empowering over 24,500 farmers across Maharashtra. Under Mr. Shinde's leadership, Sahyadri Farms has achieved remarkable milestones, including crossing 1,000 crore turnover mark in the fiscal year of 22-23, a 28% growth from the previous year. This accomplishment underscores the company's significant role in India's agribusiness sector, particularly in grape production, export, and tomato processing. His foresight has led to Sahyadri becoming India's largest exporter of grapes and a key player in the processed foods industry. The company exports its produce to over 42 countries with major contributions from fresh and processed agricultural products. In 22-23, Sahyadri Farms processed approximately 2,75,327 metric tons of produce from 40,000 acres of land, adding immense value through exports and domestic sales. Beyond this, Mr. Shinde's journey is one of resilience and determination. After facing setbacks initially, including significant financial losses in the initial years, he persevered by introducing value-added products like pulps, juices, ketchups, which further strengthened the market presence of Sahyadri. The company also promotes sustainable agriculture and innovation, investing in weather stations, satellite imaging, and agriculture technology to support farmers. Sahyadri now stands as a model of cooperative success, often compared to Amul in the dairy sector. With a vision of replicating India's global success in dairy within the horticultural space, Mr. Shinde has promoted 48 FPCs engaged in specific crop-related activities. His efforts have helped farmers increase yields by 25% and significantly improve their incomes also. Mr. Shinde's contributions to agriculture have been widely recognized. He was awarded a Doctor of Science degree from Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith for his groundbreaking work in agriculture and farmer empowerment. His leadership continues to inspire young farmers and agripreneurs across India. He holds a postgraduate degree in agriculture from Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith, Rauri. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. We are also joined by my co-moderator, Professor Dr. Prasad. He brings 3 decades of rich experience as an academic, as a professional, and as an entrepreneur as well. He holds BTech from IIT Bombay and a PGDM from IIM Kolkata. Thank you very much, Professor Prasad, for joining. We will now start the session. I am stopping the screen share. Over to you, sir. You can speak for 15-20 minutes. And then we will start the Q&A. I once again welcome all the distinguished members who have joined us on Saturday evening. We are eagerly looking forward to learn your model. Your model is very inspiring. It is innovative. And I'm sure we want to know some details about it so that we can try similar models elsewhere. Thank you. And once again, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sudhakar ji, for the detailed introduction. I would like to thank you, Dr. Prasad, and all the ICFAI members for organizing this webinar. Basically, I was stuck up in one another function, and actually it was a challenging situation for me how to make this webinar possible. But thanks for the other event organizer. They allow me to join this webinar. Actually, for before sharing my views on farmer producer company thought and sharing the journey of Sahyadri, I would like to just discuss a few points around the Indian agriculture. Most of the issues in Indian agriculture are known to everyone. Most of the participants, I believe that they are from the agriculture fraternity, so they will be aware about all these issues. But let me share from my angle. My journey has started as a farmer after completing my graduation in agriculture engineering, and actual education started with my farming experiences. And from 95 to 2004, I actually spent my time as a full-time farmer on my ancestral farm with different crop experiments on the horticulture side and also on some traditional crops, cereal crops, even some supporting activities like dairy, mushroom farming, vermicompost. So during that phase, the basic understanding which I got as a farmer that the Indian farmers, whether they are from Maharashtra or they are from any part of the country, they have some specific challenges which it's very difficult to handle on individual level. Challenges around climate change, global warming, then resource management, water shortage, drought situation, all that are known to everyone that all these challenges are very difficult to handle by the small farmers on individual levels. I personally went through such challenges as we are dealing in horticulture crops, and horticulture crops are more vulnerable and susceptible to climate change issues. So I saw all these different challenges on personal level. But along with these challenges, our farmers are facing major issues on the market side, market size issues like the price fluctuation in the market, then no assurance from the government or from the market about the price before harvest. So normally price decides after harvest. This is the common situation, specifically in the crops where minimum support price is not payment from the government, like the horticulture crops, they don't have any minimum support price. So that issue, then a lot of frauds happening in the markets, then cheating from the trader side. The small farmers, they don't have the negotiation power, so they are facing different challenges in the market. Along with this, most of the farmers they are doing farming just as a way of their life or culture, traditional culture. So they don't have the professional approach. They don't have the entrepreneur mindset, and so there is no record on their day-to-day working or there is no proper accounting maintained. So what is happening on the farm? Nobody is aware around that farm. So these are issues. Along with that, some technical issues like all page disease management, water management. So there are multiple issues around the small farmers. We normally quote it as a 10-head Ravana. So this is a fight of individual small farmer with the 10-head Ravana, and to win the battle with that this 10-head Ravana is a difficult task as a small farmer. And because of this, we know that most of our farmers, if you see the income, average annual income is between average monthly income is between 10,000 to 12,000 rupees per family. Some forward states like Maharashtra or some even in Punjab, it is around 15 to 18,000 per month. And in the backward states like some eastern states like Jharkhand, Orissa, the monthly income is just between 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per family. So with this income, who will want to continuing agriculture? Who want to stay on the farm? This is the biggest question. So that's why everybody wants to leave farming. Nobody wants to bring his next generation in the farming. And even that the worst situation, we are aware about the suicide issues in Maharashtra, also in Telangana, Andhra, and few other states in country. So on this background, actually, the farmer producer companies importance need to understand that what is the situation around this farmer and what is the solution for this small farmer. So around this, when we try to understand the overall economy development happening in the country, whether it is around service sector, manufacturing sector, or agriculture sector, and in this, as a small farmer, what are the opportunities for him? In that, most of the times, some people advise that people should leave farming and they should the additional manpower on the farming, so that need to be shifted to the service sector and manufacturing sector. So, and that's a dream of most of the farmers and also that they want a secure job, specifically the government jobs. That's why if you see, you'll see that a lot of protests are happening in most of the states to get the reservation to the farming communities, all the forward communities who are actually heading the villages. So that community who are depending on farming, they also want a reservation in the government jobs now. So all these demands are coming because of the stress in the farming, in their day-to-day the farming their sector. And one side, government is also not promoting for more jobs in their government department. And then the private sector, the service sector, manufacturing sector, that also now are focusing on the automation. They are trying to reduce the manpower, how they can manage all the work with one people instead of four. So that's the approach from the private sector also. So with this all situation, it's very difficult to get the jobs for the crore peoples who are dependent on the farming in service and manufacturing sector. So this is the like a chakru situation for the farmer. He want to get out from the this agriculture crisis, but it's very difficult to get opportunity for all these people. Whatever the people they are migrating from the agriculture or rural area with their some education background, engineering background or other background. So that 1%, 2%, so that migration is continuously happening for the few decades. But other peoples who are trapped in the agriculture, this crisis in rural economy, so they need to find their way, and that way is possible only from the agriculture sectors actually rearrangement. And what I understand with my personal experiences of early days of almost 10 years as a farmer, and then after around 6 years as an agri entrepreneur, that in agriculture itself, there are a lot of opportunities. There are so many new opportunities we can explore because of the globalization, because of the food sectors organized structure demand on the consumer side, also the new technology and innovations implementation in agriculture. We can definitely change the rural communities and agriculture communities' life. And for that, first we need to take entrepreneur mindset. We need to understand that farming is a enterprise. The small farm itself is like a small factory, and the every farmer is actually is like an entrepreneur. Though he did not understand this thought, but this is the actual situation. Everybody who is doing farming and whatever the crop is growing, actually all are his own decisions. So he should not blame actually to the government or to the God or to the any other factor. Whatever the his challenges, how he can solve all the challenges with his own effort. That should be the his thought. The pure entrepreneur thought need to develop within the farmer community. So this learning actually I got on personal level, and then the further understanding which came with the entrepreneur mindset that as an entrepreneur, if you are having issues which you could not solve on individual level, for that the collaboration approach, coming together with the equal mindset people or with the also people having the same issues, if they will come together and if they will create a negotiation power, then definitely situation can be a different thing. So the corrective for the Indian farmer, I think, is a must, or it's actually a compulsory thing, mandatory thing, that if they want to survive, then collective approach, integrated approach is the only way. And if you are now in the global market, in the global ecosystem, so if you want to survive in that global market, so definitely strong negotiation power, strong your strategy is required to win the market competition. So with that thought, then Sahyadri's journey has started in 2011, and from 2011 to 2024, everybody knows that Sahyadri becomes one successful farmer producer company model in horticulture sector, and in grapes we become the leading grape exporter. From that, there are so many other milestones achieved by Sahyadri. So, if you see this, all the things happen at Sahyadri only because of the core. Actually, the main change happen at the mindset on the my personal level, and also with our all our my colleague farmers level at Sahyadri management level. So the main core this entrepreneur mindset development, and also understanding the global competition, understanding the right implementation of the technology. So that made the real difference in Sahyadri. And the basic the vision which we kept from the beginning, that all our farmer members, they have aspiration to get the standard of living like any urban people, like any metropolitan citizen. And that standard, how we can create in our village, in our community with available resources. So that is basically our core objective. And as a farmer producer company, actually we have to bring this in existence in our area. At every farm, how we can make a profitable business. If it is profitable, then only it can be a sustainable business. So the farm, our all farms, or whatever the size of the farm, 2 acre, 3 acre, but all these farms should be a profitable enterprises in all the circumstances, and this should happen for all our members, and for all our crops, whatever the crops we are handling, it should be a profit-making business. And also we keep the clear definition that what is my per acre expectation. So that also need to define, and as an organization, we need to focus to achieve that minimum income. So we kept 50,000 rupees per month per family income target, and so out of 3 acre, this my expected income, how I can achieve around that. Then the overall strategy has been built. So the right in the crop selected at Sahyadri, also the market selected for all these crops. So all are based on with this basic expectation that minimum 50,000 rupees per month. If I need to earn from 3 acres, so it means around 6 lakh rupees per acre, or 2 lakh rupees per acre net income. So if I want to generate, so then which crop I need to focus, how to make the strategy, considering the government policies, different market related challenges, climate related challenges, and around that, then we need to make strategy. So based on that, our crops are selected, grapes and other crops, other horticulture crops. Along with that, we also understand from the beginning that the consumer is equally important, like our shareholder, like our farmer, because the real king in the today's world is actually the consumer. Farmer is no more king, and though we are saying with our actual sympathy, or just as a our feeling that farmer is a god and farmer is giving bread to all. So all these are actually the I think, as per my understanding, the myth. The real truth is the customer. Customer is the king. So the if I want to win that customer, I need to actually think from the customer angle. So the, as a farmer, we created this mindset that our customer who is eating my grapes or my other crops, so he should have the first choice for our crop. And so for that, our crop should be more the safest crop. It should be healthiest product, and also it should be affordable to the all customer. So the customer view and farmers view, and along with that, the environment, our other stakeholders, their interest, all that also need to protect it. If it is a win-win situation, then only we can then sustain, and also we can grow. So with this philosophy, Sahyadri journey has started, and because of this clear understanding of the agriculture sector's issue and consumers' expectation, proper strategy has been placed, and that will work out very well. So if you see, based on Sahyadri's experience, two key things I just need to summarize that all Indian farmers are having competition in the global market now. So and the global competition is with all the developed countries, Europe, USA, or Australia, all the big farmers, organized farmers, professional farmers, technologically sound farmers, capitally rich farmers. So all these farmers, they are competing with all our small farmers in the global market. Whether I am doing export or not, that's not a question mark. Actually, in my village also, I'm seeing the competition. I'm seeing a lot of product coming in my village, a lot of fruits, a lot of oil seeds, a lot of pulses, so many agriculture commodities. I'm seeing at my village, which are imported, and all these people, all the global farmers, they are competing us with even in our local market. And if I want to do export or I want to have aspiration to get a better income, so that competition I need to face. So one side, this actually the core challenge, and also to win the battle at consumer level. So the organized structure only can work, and that can create a real difference. So farmer producer company model actually need to understand from this angle. Cooperative in our country is well established since last 100 years. The Cooperative Act, which came in 1904. So under that act, almost 8 lakh plus cooperatives are already created from the pack to the different cooperatives, some processing factories like sugar factories, cotton mills, to dairies. So there are already a lot of cooperative, well-known cooperatives from Amul to the so many other sugar factory like cooperatives. So there are a lot of successful examples, but all that cooperatives are working under the Cooperative Act, and the Cooperative Act is controlled from the government, whether it is all the legal aspect or day-to-day working, everywhere government is involved. And that's the one big challenge for most of the cooperatives. So when the Farmer Producer Company Act came in 2002, so the reason behind that was very clear. Everybody knows that Farmer Producer Company is having the same principle like traditional cooperative, but with only one big change that government is not involved in day-to-day operation of the producer company, as it is registered under Company Act, and as the principles are same, one person, one vote, irrespective of share capital, all members are having equal voting rights. So the principles are same, but the government is not involved in day-to-day working, and because of that, producer company can have better professional management. They can plan strategy. They can plan their own marketing thoughts, and also they can have right capital strategy. So it's their own decision, and because of that, they can have a better opportunity in the market also. I think producer company is the right model instead of traditional cooperative societies, because these all producer company are like a blend, or it's actually a hybrid of the cooperative and traditional cooperative, and also the professional any corporate company. So if both the based out things from the traditional cooperative and also from this any professional corporate, if we will mix and if we'll implement under this producer company model, the situation will be completely different. Most of the producer companies are struggling around these issues. All the producer companies from in country are actually they're dependent on government schemes, and they are expecting the government support. So they are making the same mistake like the traditional cooperative. So if they will avoid so that route, and if they will try to focus on creating their own strength, the situation will be completely different. And we can see a lot of successful examples like Sahyadri Farms or like Amul in coming years. Because in today's world, the main game changer is technology. all the specifically the digital technologies, which are actually creating a big difference in day-to-day life, and like a banking sector or any other sector. We are now seeing complete digitalization of the agriculture sector, and plus the different innovations happening around the production technologies, then mechanization, different innovation to reduce the production cost, and also on the post-service side. Now people are exploring different processed product, food products, and then also in branding marketing, there are different ways. Online marketing channels are now open. Our country is now seeing the lot of trends happening in the retail market, modern retail like Europe, America. So that's are now explored in country. So the now the today's environment is completely different in professional manner. If we will work and if we will focus one single commodity in organized structure, where farmers are organized, and also complete end-to-end ecosystem is created from production to the up to consumer. So with this, I think then we'll see the lot of successful brands, farmer-owned brands like Amul in country, and the farmer producer companies that need to have this dream. But like Amul, how they can have their own strong brand, recognized brand in the country, or also in international market, with the collective approach in their commodity. So I think producer company, if they will go in this way, then definitely we'll see the different picture in our agriculture sector and also in rural sector. So I think with this note, I will stop here, and then
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you very much for this overview. I think what you've spoken about is very interesting in the sense that it compares with the modern models of doing business, many models of entrepreneurship that we have. For example, you have identified the problems which are larger than a small farmer. For an environmental problem which is larger, problems that are emanating from global climate change, so on and so forth, will be difficult to be handled by small farmers. So you've identified those things, and then it is important that you come together as a collective and then handle these things by harnessing new technology, harnessing new models of cooperation that we can, and learning from the adjacencies, like what cooperatives are doing as well as what corporate models are doing. So you have gone for a blend of these two. Very interesting. Another parallel is that you are focusing on unit economics, like any young entrepreneur is supposed to focus. You have set up a target of say 50,000 earning for a 3-acre farm per family, and then if you focus on these things very clearly and sharply, and I think the problems can be at micro level handled. And another important parallel that I can draw is customer is the king. I think in modern businesses and all corporate businesses also, everywhere customer is the king. And that kind of behavioral or mindset kind of change that you brought in, these are the fundamental pillars of your discussion. This is amazing, sir. And also, somewhere you have all mentioned that digital is going to be used. I think during the Q&A, we can unravel a little more about this, if you can explain. But the ground that you have set for us to understand problem, and from which the genesis of Sahyadri has taken place, that was very, very clear. And also some of the mindset changes that you have brought about among the farmers, and blended a model that is consuming both corporate as well as cooperative. And that's how Sahyadri has been operating. So this is very clearly understood, sir. I want to at this time acknowledge the fact that we are joined by several individuals this evening. We have people joining from various other countries as well, including Qatar, Doha. We have people from India and all parts of the country. People have joined. I welcome all of them for this wonderful conversation. In the fact that your time is a little constrained for you because you have to go and attend another conference, we will try and keep it very short. Maybe I'll request Professor Prasad also to focus on most important 2 or 3 questions. I will probably take one question, and then we'll give one question to the audience. If that is okay, we'll proceed now. Okay. Okay, sir. We'll start the Q&A. I'll request Professor Prasad to start. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rao. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful introduction of a new kind of a model. Perhaps it is a little bit known to you and to maybe some other groups. But there are two highlights apart from what Professor Sudhakar has spoken. One is that there is an aspiration in the farmer in villages to have a lifestyle which is similar to that in the metros and an earning capacity to back it. I think that's a very important point. And the second is that you have demonstrated this model at a scale now, which means that this is doable. And so therefore, for the rest of the country also, this is immensely doable. So I'll come straight to the first question, sir. You have answered some of the questions already, but now I'll come with some other additional questions which are there. Sir, we have this problem where, you need to cross the first and second, the zero stage and the first stage, so that then things start working. You are also gone through those phases. Some kind of escape velocity is needed to go past the gravity which pulls you down initially. What kind of issues? I mean, some are very well known. Funding issues are there, production issues are there, marketing issues are there. So how can another set of farmers who want to do something similar to you, what are the major issues that they need to take care of?
I think the main issue which every farmer producer company leaderships are facing, that the farmer themselves are not trusting on this producer company thought or on the collective thought. And also the things which we just spoke, that farming is a business, and we need to think like an entrepreneur. So this is the biggest challenge, I think. Most of the farmer producer company promoters or leaders are facing, how to gain the trust on this thought and also on the leadership itself. So when this missing actually the trust between the farmer community or on the collective approach, so that how can develop within the community, that is I think is the biggest challenge. And I think this challenge anybody can handle only with one way, with the action, with the actual demonstration, that because of the collective, the individual farmers' life is changing, and because of the collective's power, the individual farmer is in better position, is in secure position, his income has been improved. So for that, action is important. Some every producer company needs to go through this phase, that first 5 years or 7, 8 years period. So whatever the struggle, whatever their management issues, but they have to prove that because of organization, all the members, farmer members, they are now growing, or they are now becoming, they are in become the sustainable situation. So this action and also having the proper strategy around their community, I think that is the biggest challenge. Along with that, the challenges like finding the market, getting the capital, and also getting the right talent, getting the right technologies. So all these are actually, I think, as a day-to-day issues, and that can be properly addressed if the business is a profit-making business, and if organization demonstrate that business or their model is working and it's growing. So capital can be attracted, definite capital will come, talent will come, even the technology will come, and also the organized market. They also actually would like to connect with all the farmers, and individual farmers definitely could not work with the organized market. But if such front is available, organized market, they are also giving response to the producer company. I think all these challenges can be easily handled. Only the main core challenge, the creating the trust within the members, and then the, demonstrating that the collective power works, and it creates a difference.
Thank you, sir. I think you have taken us through some of the vital elements which are necessary to cross those initial 5 years, and then perhaps there is more motivation in the members by then.
Yes.
Another thing I observed, sir, is that based on your website, there are a lot of the way you have organized the whole value chain, and the number of activities that you do, from agri-tourism to climate stations, and the innovations that you're talking about. there seems to be a culture which has gradually been built up. And your what you talk about as your vision also is, in the website, to build people, process, and practices to enable and empower smallholder Indian farmers to compete with the best by cultivating the highest quality produce. These are extremely motivating. At the same time, you have demonstrated that it is not static, it is very dynamic. And there are lots of things which are coming in, which are all connected to each other and integrating towards making that feeling that, yes, we are part of the best. Can you delve into some of that and inform our audience about how you've gone about doing it, sir?
You see, the core crop grape that has demonstrated Indian farmers' power in spite of all the challenges, the small land holding and so many other challenge issues. In Nasik or in grape production area, before Sahyadri, actually, the grape export activity was started in 2000 during that days, and like the small farmers, whether they are having 2 acre, but they can actually cater a European consumer through the organized supermarket. So that basic ground was ready before Sahyadri. Sahyadri actually proved that the 2000 acre area with the organized way from the 1000 farmers. So all can be treated as a one standard product, and though it is coming from different 1000 farms, but it can actually meet all the standards of European customers. The full traceability around all these 1000 farms that can be provided to the customer. Customer can trust on the product because of all this transparency coming through the traceability system, and in that all the issues around the safety, all the issues around the product's quality, all are properly addressed. And like any organized farmer in South Africa, Chile, Peru, these small farmers, they can also actually perform with the same standard, but with the better cost, with the better efficiency. So these all things actually we experience around this grape export ecosystem, and then that actually then we try to implement in other crops and for all the customers. Along with Europe market, same thing we try to implement for domestic market, for Gulf market, and for other also other customers. So this professional mindset to understand the global customer, his expectation, accordingly to implement the right strategy, right technology, then give the confidence to the customer with the full traceability, transparency. All that has created a difference. And as you said, that the technology are playing the important role now. And at Sahyadri from the beginning, from the 2011, we kept the clear view that we have to build a brand like Amul, and that brand building itself is a biggest challenge for us. So if we want to succeed, then the customers trust how we can actually create with a minimum effort. For that, technology is the important tool for us. I can, if either digital world, I can directly speak with the customer. I can give a direct access to all the ecosystem to the customer. So customer can be like auditor if technology is properly designed, and that strategy works well. And along with these digital technologies, other different technology solutions for improving the productivity, then improving the quality, then monitoring all the operations for the IoT devices like sensors, weather stations, plus product innovations. Instead of having the just a fresh fruit, if I can provide the product in different form. So like milk, in milk we are consuming milk in different form, fresh milk to different value-added products. So how we can make the same thing in horticulture? Around that, we actually design the overall Sahyadri's ecosystem, and that actually is giving the strong base to the organization, and also it is giving a win-win situation for the consumer. Consumer can have multiple options in our horticulture crops from Sahyadri, and our farmers, they are also supported in different situations. because of the integrated and multi product strategy. When there is a glut situation, the product surplus product is converted into process. When there is a shortage, mostly the product is sold in the fresh market with the premium. So different options are created for the farmer, and he can then choose as per the situation the best route. And consumer also can choose best product as per the situation. So the integrated this strategy actually works along with the right technology solutions. All are, as I said, is like a battle with the 10 and Ravana. So we need to create a strategy to handle all these 10 head, how we can heal or how we can handle all these challenges together. So technology is playing an important role, I think, to handle this situation.
Excellent, sir. I think you have given us a overview of how you have made it happen for the grape ecosystem. And some of the critical things are, one was the scale, 2000 acres from 1000 farmers, and the need for standards, which is driven by customers. And then looking at the needs of the customers, then looking back at the options available with the farmer and taking an integrated view of this. Thank you very much, sir. I hand it back to Professor Rao.
Thank you very much, Professor Prasad. I think, Vilasji, you are pivoting the way it is traditionally looked at, and that is a very interesting way I am taking home today's conversation. You are pivoting it based on the templates as well that are available for us, and slightly innovating in terms of what others are doing. In line with this, I'll take only one question and then I'll open the mic for a couple of people who have raised their hand. Directly, we will make them talk to you. Okay, sir. My question is, how are you using the weather forecasting, and how are you using the satellite data? This is also mentioned in your website somewhere. So this is a very important aspect we thought we'll understand from you. And then I'll open the mic for others.
We have our own app, farmer app, Farm Setu. So actually, through this our software, we are giving all the different services to our farmer member, the weather related all the information. So day to day, all the data which we are collecting from the different satellite based information, also plus some ground level data from our weather stations. We have actually installed weather stations in our farmer clusters in different crop clusters, and some weather stations are actually having 2 or 3 types of different models. So that data, some data is coming from the farm, some data is coming from the cluster, and the satellite data. All that data is synchronized, and through that farmers are getting advice for the on the weekly basis, and the real time that all information used for the day-to-day monitoring. Along with that, the agronomy services are also provided from the same app. Our agronomy team, they are actually giving SOPs, standard SOPs to all the members, and also they are then giving the advice as per the different situations. And then farmers are maintaining all their diaries on all the whatever day-to-day operations in the same app. So all the information around the farm is collected in the same app. So that's actually then giving the full access to see the profit loss statement of every farm, because the sales data is also coming in the same app. So cost, production cost related all the information, and then also all the sales side information, plot wise information is coming in the app or in the central system. And because of that, then better planning is possible. The proper strategy we can work out around the different aspects.
Brilliant, brilliant, sir. I think what is actually you're saying is happening is something that we would like to also see. One small additional question on this, sir. How many people have downloaded your app, and how many people on a daily basis use it? Because you have large number of farmers who are
Yes.
part of your system,
Correctly,
but how many actually update the data there in terms of profit and loss making data?
Currently, software is uploaded on almost 20,000 plus farmers mobile, and day-to-day basis around 5,500 plus farmers. They are actually using the system with all functions. Specifically, the farmers for register for the export, so they have to actually follow all the SOPs. and as before harvest, every plot is tested. So all that data is monitored, and they are aware about all the process, that if their sample gets passed and all the data is accurate, then only they will get the premium. So all these farmers, they follow all the instructions coming from central agronomy team, and all that data is coming in the app. The remaining farmers, mostly they are using the app for weather related information and some other subscriptions. But actually, as I said, the entrepreneur mindset. So around that, now we are actually taking a lot of trainings, and there are some training courses to use the technology, write the information, record the information. So this is a continuous process.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. I think the biggest thing is to bring about the change of mindset, that entrepreneurial spirit has to be brought in. Agriculture has to be profitable. I think all these things you have forced them or encouraged them to focus on and look at in a different manner. Okay, sir. With this, what I'll do is I'll request one or two people to open their mic and answer. Kapil Raje, Mandar Nayak, Anjana Matta, all three, you can open your mic and speak. In the meantime, Dr. Shantanu, if you have a question, you do it. Otherwise, we don't have much time. Yes, Dr. Shantanu. Only question, please. Only question, not a comment.
It was a wonderful session. The point I liked very much was that if it is, since I've worked in business for long, if it is not profitable, it is not sustainable. Now, there are many challenges in this. So, when you are planning out sustainability in the field of this kind of innovation, in the field of farmers innovation, getting the farmers together in the agricultural area, what do you think the 2, 3 main points to look at to make it sustainable? In the sense, like in the long run, things go up and things fall down. So, what are the key points we should keep in our mind?
Yeah, I think I already spoke. The mindset is the major issue where everybody is struggling. So how to change that mindset? So around that, so the right strategy, and also proper understanding the commodity. I think that is also equally important point. See, if you see the horticulture commodities are having different challenges in market or in the also. On the production side because of the climate change related issues. So this commodity and milk commodity or the oilseed commodity or cereals or cotton or sugar cannot be having same strategy. So cross specific strategy, I think that's one important factor. One important factor, another factor is government understanding the government policies. In our country, we always have this debate that consumer is actually exploiting farmer for the benefit of the consumer, and like in onion or in other rice, wheat. A lot of times this debate we have heard. So this also the government policy will be always in the favor of consumer, that we need to understand as a vote bank. So that policies will be there. So how we are strategizing your overall policies or your the organizations their strategy to handle this government related issues, and also where you will focus in the market considering the open economy's benefit, globalization's benefit. So I think these points are important.
Yeah, yeah. I think there are requirements for ensuring that our farmers understand sustainability in the long run, and I think they are the only people who can safeguard the visions of sustainability at a micro level. I think you have already changed their mindsets, and I'm sure as a leader you have influenced them sufficiently. We'll quickly take another question from Mr. Kapil Raje.
Yeah, good evening, sir. The remarkable success that Sahyadri Farms has achieved, how can it be replicated across other states in India? Thank you.
I think in milk, we have seen that after Amul, and then there are a lot of successful cooperatives in other states also. Now we can see like Nandini in Karnataka, or Sudha in even in the like a state like Bihar, Saras in UP. So, the if the model is built properly, if the community specific proper strategy is properly designed, And if it is proven at one location, then to replicate that model or the strategy around that crop, I think it's not then a big task. So in horticulture, the Sahyadri is a model that integration, then instead of one crop, at least 2 or 3 crop with different season, and then targeting the international customer with the global standard. I think this learning which we got at Sahyadri, so this learning if properly implemented, then it will work in any horticulture crop in any state, whether it is apple in Himachal Pradesh or pineapple in the Northeast or mango in Tamil Nadu. So just to need to understand this the model properly, where the success mantra is there, and if the leadership from the farmer community, the passionate leadership with the honest integrated approach, if they are coming forward and with all this professional understanding of that community, if that will happen, then we can see multiple such organizations in country. Main thing is to attract the honest and also the professional talent to the agriculture sector, and also along with that capital. This is also one important factor. How we can attract capital in farming sector with in collective form, not on the individual level or in the private sector. A lot of agri-tech startups are coming and they are also trying to develop a different model. But particularly for the farmer producer company, to attract the capital and talent. So this issue, I think, is the major issue. But as a agriculture universities or the agriculture, all the institutions, ICR and so other institutions, if they will keep this target that the talent from the agriculture sector coming from different university, how we can promote them to coming agriculture sector as a entrepreneur and also as a social entrepreneur, not just entrepreneur, but social entrepreneur with the collective approach, how they are focusing their community specific challenges with the learning from successful examples like Amul or so many others. So then we can see definitely a lot of successful stories in coming years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, it can definitely be scaled up provided they study the model from a close distance. And to replicate, obviously, you need leaders in other sectors or other states for various other products, because one has to lead with a product related, region related championship, which you have done. And that has to be understood very closely and taken it forward. Sir, there is one question from one of the members. What are your views on commodity market and hedging in future options? This is, I think, Mandar Naik is asking this question. His mic is not able to open.
The commodity market, all the commodity products, all these agriculture commodities, I think in that I don't see any future for the small and marginal farmers. Maybe for the big farmers, it's a different story. But all these, all the products which are actually traded on the commodity markets, mostly are cereal, pulses, oil seeds. So all these crops, all these crops, government is involved. If you see the 23 crops which are having a minimum support price. So in all these crops, the price is controlled from the government side, and government is continually intervening in all these commodities market, considering the consumers' interest. So in all these crops, I don't see any future for the small farmers. One side, we are saying that every farmer or every person is having aspiration to get the better life or better income from the available resources. So around all these commodities which are traded on the commodity market, so there are facing issues on the getting the better premium, and that premium you could not expect from the wholesale of the commodity market. Premium will always come if you are connected directly with the customer, end customer, the customer who is consuming your product. And plus, product should have some value addition. If you are just trading the product in the raw form, then there will not be any big value for the farmer. From the consumer angle, like in wheat, consumer is not eating directly wheat; he is consuming the atta. So atta is not traded on the commodity market.
Yes.
So if I want a premium or I want to get better value, I need to sell my product in the atta form. So These are different aspects need to understand around commodity market with basically some with hedging. You can have some price fluctuation related risk management, but not a big difference or not a big value you can create in the commodity market.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you very much. And that's all the time that we have for this week and this session. I want to thank you, sir, for taking permission from the other conference that is going on and where some bureaucrats are waiting for you to go and speak. On behalf of everybody who has joined, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sparing this 1 hour. Very, very precious. You have answered all the questions. Your model is very interesting. It is very enterprising. At the same time, it is blending the existing models. It is not a straight formula. I think changing the mindsets has always been a big challenge for everybody, anybody in any sector. I think that biggest thing that you have taken. May God bless you. And in the last 15 years, you have brought a lot of difference to the lives of farmers and also aspiring entrepreneurs. And you are calling it a profitable business. May agriculture be a profitable business with efforts like people like you putting in and helping the system become an ecosystem which is rewarding. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you all the participants. Thank you, Dr. Sudhakar, Dr. Prasad. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'll write to you and I'll talk to you later. Thank you, sir. Carry on with your program. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had exactly that much of time and a few questions we could not take because of the paucity of time. But we will definitely write to him and seek his responses over the weekend. We would like to also inform you that we will come back on next Friday at 6:30 p.m. We will share the communication with you and we will continue to conduct these sessions for learning from the 168th session next week on 11th of October. We wish you a very happy weekend and ongoing Navratri festival season should be very, very reverential and very useful and hope it gives you a fulfilling experience when you go through that. See you next week. Have a great weekend.